there are reputable developers building very nice, decent properties, and these properties can be obtained. You know, we're letting them know they're there, they exist. We go and visit them regularly. And not only that, there are finance options as well. So that full one-stop solution for property investment in Ghana, we're actually illustrating what it is that we do. Because it's nice to talk about it, but there's something more with visually seeing it.
Now tell me, in producing these series, what were the major differences you saw in the various properties that you encountered? What were the major differences that you think would lead people to maybe either choose this or choose that?
Well, again, location is key. If you're going to purchase in airport cantonments, you're looking at a higher luxury apartment or property. So the prices will be, again, higher. It's like your Kensington and Chelsea. Then you have your areas of your, again, in East London, for an example. It all depends on location, size of the property. Again, there's affordable homes. So we've given a range and a variety of people to see the high-end affordable home ranges that they can purchase. So,
I think affordability is something that would be a defining factor for many people.
Absolutely.
And affordability can be relative, can't it?
Yeah, exactly. It can be very relative.
And for someone, maybe $300,000 is affordable. For another person, that's a bit up class, and for someone is 500,000. Oh, that's affordable. You know, so affordability is relative, but the key thing is that they are getting the quality their money's worth.
Yes. Absolutely. And we were very, very pleasantly surprised with the finished product. All the developments we went to, and people will see for themselves, the developers have thought about it. They thought about which type of person will be occupying my property.
Right.
And throughout the series, you'll see a variety of different apartments, townhouses, and again, we've done a good range of price bracket. So then people can see for themselves, as Vicky mentioned, location. For this location, for this property, this is what the price will be. And so for us, it's key to make sure that we kept the variety there so people can have an idea of options of cost, affordability, location, and whether it's going to work for them.
That's interesting. This is the Property and Lifestyle Show. You can give us a call on 0208 6707 300 or 0788 7475 if you have any questions regarding property for my guest Anna and Victoria from Onpoint Property Limited. We'll take a quick breather, and when we come back, we will be looking into this into a bit more detail as far as what the Property and Lifestyle show on that's your YouTube channel that you've launched is concerned, and we will also be trying to get some understanding as to how getting onto the property ladder in Ghana basically works. I think today we want to concentrate a bit more external. Last week we did here in the UK and how you could get on and some of the things. So today we'll try and look at how we are able to get on the ladder in Ghana, if you would like to do that. This is ABN Radio London's Afropolitan radio station, and we will be right back.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart of the family ripped apart. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred or respect. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife and save a life. Quentin Slowly, supporting all family and young people.
What do you like for breakfast?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I like a little bit of porridge with banana because I'm feeling healthy. If I'm in a...
Me, I like a bit of fruit. nice apples, sliced apples.
I love
banana.
a cinnamon and raisin bagel, some scrambled eggs, and a...
I say nice English breakfast.
Salad with gluten orange
I
juice.
like wholemeal bagel with a bit of cream cheese on it and some bacon and then some avocado. And on the side, I like 2 halves of
Fried
grapefruit.
egg with bacon, with baked beans, toast.
I normally take my cocoa. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a typical Ghanaian, so I like my cocoa.
I'm not too sure. I normally don't eat breakfast.
It doesn't matter how you like your breakfast, or you may not like breakfast at all, but you will love the sound of your radio when the breakfast is Afropolitan. Watch out for the new ABN Radio Breakfast Show with Efuadum and Abeye Bonsu. ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Find those extra cups to fill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil.
Mixpiration with Bright every Sunday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. is just fun. It's exciting. It's a mix of contemporary R&B and pop gospel music right here on ABN Radio. Enjoy great themes every Sunday evening with Bright on Mixpiration, a blend of great inspiring songs just for your Sunday evening relaxation. Tune in from 6 to 8 p.m. this and every Sunday. They're on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Work it.
ABN Radio.
Yeah, another one this day. We bad. Big nation. Nobody bad. Ah, boy, and gonna be home. Sweet and out. What a bam bam. Everybody want touch a bam bam. Ooh yeah. What a bam bam. Be a man a fight over you for the bam. Some go girl, some go girl. Mama kuma nyama no pepi amesha maternity. Some go ladies, some go yard. Waka to the cheese, don't why the up sound energy. Some go girl, some go girl. You be what I will give me, we are about what we Hennessy. Some go ladies, some go yard. I will promote it, and then you put up your milk and get you. Tell her to see my down pretty lady. Come check me in a me Ghana when you ready. Right, I know I just you in a me ready. I want put a stone in a the thing like a baby. She see me elephant and I start ball already. Ready. I already to me ready. Oh no, I don't mean him Teddy, but me ready to barely goodie.
Welcome back. This is ABN Radio. Is just 25 minutes past 7 o'clock here on London's Afropolitan radio station. We are live online, abnradiouk.com. We are also live across Greater London on DAB, that is digital radio. So if you are in your car, we are the very first on your radio band. So ABN Radio, and you get to listen to London's Afropolitan radio station. You can engage with us on all social platforms, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Snapchat. And it will surprise you that we are also on Instagram. Okay, it wouldn't surprise you we're on Instagram. We're surprised that we're on WhatsApp. You can actually send us your WhatsApp message. You can send us a voice note. Maybe you are quite busy. You can't call. Just send us your voice note, and I'm going to be playing them right out on the show for you as well. Right. So I still have my guests, Anna and Victoria from Onpoint Property Limited. I can't stop asking this question every week on what you actually do for your customers, because I'm conscious of the fact that somebody may be tuning in for the first time and would like to know, Onpoint Property Limited, Daniel keeps on mentioning them, but who are they? What do they do? So let's do a quick recap, and then we get talking about properties in Ghana one more time.
Yeah, so Onpoint Property, we're a one-stop solution for property investment in the UK and Ghana. We have a variety of services which include property management and lettings.
In the UK?
In the UK. We do Investor, which is the Ghana service. So those who want to purchase property in Ghana, we actually work with reputable developers in Ghana and source the properties thereafter. And then we also have Anna?
Our bespoke sourcing service, and this is tailor-made for those who are based in Ghana or West Africa who want to buy property in London. And as in addition to that, we also act as a platform for the developers here, and we also organise the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo, which will be the second year in the UK, and we'll also be doing one in Atlanta. And it's where we invite all the developers, the bankers, and some lifestyle agencies and businesses all under one roof to showcase their businesses, showcase their developments, and for people, the diaspora, to interact with them, because we like that interaction.
Right. It looks like it's not a concentration, I'm looking for a better word. It looks like the focus is now being shifted onto the diasporan market. So even with governments across most of the West African country, they're trying to look at what people in the diaspora can give back. Correct. So I think it's in the right direction and the right step as far as property is concerned as well. People can begin to look back home, and that knowledge that you can really do something, and it's comparable to anything that you can develop where you are at present, and also you can have the same lifestyle irrespective of where you are living. Now let's get a bit deeper into the Ghana mortgages session. So someone, maybe a very lay person who is listening and is interested, okay, that sounds nice, how can I get onto the property market in Ghana? I don't want to go through the headache of sending all this money back home and having to spend 3, 4, 5 months every year going to sit in Ghana to supervise the building. I just want to buy. What should the person do? How should the person start?
That's a very good question, Daniel. I'm glad you've asked that question as well. For us, we are encouraging the diaspora, that there are better ways of trying or to buy and obtain a property back in Ghana. Our first point of call, if you're coming to us for that service, is we always have to assess your affordability. That is where your journey starts. And to the listeners, there are mortgages out there set up especially for the diasporas.
Okay.
So those based in the UK or globally, anywhere in the world, as long as you are from Ghanaian heritage, or you are Ghanaian, or your parents are Ghanaian, you qualify, or you are entitled to get a mortgage. So what we would do is assess your affordability, and we'll be working with one of our agents here in the UK to assess your affordability. And while they're assessing your affordability, our team will be asking you the questions of where...
Property. Again, we give our clients a application form, which basically gives us general answers to their requirements. Again, are you looking for an apartment? Are you looking for a house? Are you looking in central Accra, outer Accra? And also, just the general concept of, how many bedrooms are you looking for? Just the general questions you need.
A questionnaire, so we know
where to start.
Where to start, which developers to recommend them to. So whilst that's going on, their mortgage assessment, if they are going for a mortgage, their requirements will be assessed. And then once they know that they can get a mortgage, we can then proceed with the property search.
Right. But if they are not getting a mortgage and they want to maybe buy outright?
That's no problem at all. If they're going to buy outright, even if we source a property for them, I would still recommend that they get legal advice. In Ghana, unlike in the UK, if anyone has purchased a property before, it's in Ghana, the solicitor usually only gets involved when there's a problem. But those from the diaspora who are not familiar with Ghana and the real estate system there, the developer will give you a purchase agreement. And that purchase agreement basically will give you an undertaking. It's your lease, really. It will give all the terms of what the property, how much the property is, you know, when you're going to pay. Most developers will give you a payment plan. I'm working on the assumption that the property is not built yet, so if it's off plan. And those terms need to be looked over to make sure before you sign and start sending money over, you know what you're doing. Usually the developer will take a reservation fee to hold the property for you. Anything between $2,000 and $5,000 is the usual amount. Yes, you hear the amount dollars. The real estate market in Ghana is valued in dollars.
Okay, is there any reason why?
And then that's all the city equivalent.
The city, because of this fluctuation of the city,
right.
The dollar is a stable currency which they prefer to use. And just to follow on from what Anna mentioned again, in terms of going for a mortgage, you will be assessed on your current UK credit record.
Okay.
So if your credit is not that clean, as I said, it can be corrected after 6 months, but it is based on your UK credit scoring.
Yeah. They will ask, or if anyone's familiar with the process of buying a mortgage in the UK, it's identical.
It's exactly the same thing.
You know, wanting bank statements, references, all the usual paperwork that you would do here, they would expect that also. Because you're dealing with major banks, you're dealing with major mortgage providers who have set their mortgage lending and criteria based on UK style banking. So there won't be unfamiliar waters, but we bang on about credit, I think, every show, because it's so important. So essentially, once you've made that reservation fee and you want to take the property, do get a solicitor. We can recommend a solicitor for you, which we usually do, just to read through that purchase agreement and make sure you understand all the clauses, such as the lease length, service charge, you know, any other clauses, and also to protect you in case the developer doesn't finish the property on time, or, you know, delays happen. What protection do you have in that clause in the your purchase agreement? So that purchase agreement is very, very important document.
So you've mentioned a couple of times how important the purchase agreement is. Would you say that if one decides to build on his or her own, after building and owning, you know, of course, when you build is your own house, is it the same as after paying, maybe if it's a mortgage you got, after paying the mortgage and everything, do you like own the house as if you would have built for yourself? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Like a freehold.
Yes. So do you completely own the house as is yours if you had chosen to build on for yourself?
I guess the only difference is just the lease length.
All right.
Yeah. So once you've purchased that property, you get that's another thing to check, whether the developer will give you the title deeds for your part of the property you own. Most of them give that to you once you've finished paying. They'll give you the title deed document. And this is where you check for the lease length. Well, you know, in Ghana, everyone who owns property, whether it's their own or through a developer, maximum lease length is 99 years. So when you're buying from a developer, you need to just check how long the lease length is. And that's really the main thing.
So after 99 years, what happens? The ownership reverts to who?
Well, in Ghana at the moment, the law is that you can renew your lease.
Okay.
And unlike the UK, it's a nominal figure. It's not a crazy figure. Whether it's government land, chieftaincy land, it's a known rule in Ghana. So that is not something I want anyone to feel nervous about, because UK, we're used to long leases, like 999 years, or typically 125 years.
Okay.
But in the UK, to renew your lease, if it drops below 70 years, I mean, we're talking thousands of pounds. In Ghana, it's not like that, thankfully.
Right. Hopefully anybody from Ghana is not listening and deciding to change that.
Yeah. So the title deed is important, because when you buy off the developer, you need to check that, you know, when it's up for renewal, who is it you contact to renew the lease? So this is where your solicitor can advise you further.
Okay. Let's look at the differences. Victoria, when you were making a submission, you mentioned whether you want to buy an apartment or you want to buy a house. I don't know, is a flat. What are the major differences when it comes to these types of properties?
Well, again, we tend to deal with a lot of gated communities.
Okay.
So if it's a townhouse, it will be in a gated community as well as the apartments. So you do have ground rents, which is usually no more than $200, $300 maximum dollars a month for service charge. That's the only additional amount you'll be paying, and that's to look after all the communal areas, the communal swimming pool, the gardening, if there's some security, and then the lighting and the generators to keep everything intact. But to be honest, an apartment is, again, it's designed just like the European standard,
right?
Open plan. Some of them do come with maid quarters, so if you do have house help, some of the apartments are quite generous in space. You can have like 2 different entrances to your apartment, which is quite nice to have, especially if you don't want to have a house. And then the townhouses, again, you know, you have that nice option of having your open plan space. You have your communal pools, your security guards, etc. So they all are up to real good standards.
I'm thinking that parking spaces for your cars is not a big problem in Ghana as it is here.
I know. You do have your own drive. Usually they come with 2 drives.
Typically, most of them will give you space to park 2 cars. So
okay.
they've taken that into consideration, even those who want to cook their Kobe and
outside.
And things like that. They've positioned doors and windows.
The lifestyle of a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So although you are a diasporan, you still have the Ghanaian blood running through you. So that's been taken into consideration. And the property, or most of the properties, have been developed to suit that.
Yeah.
Is that the case? Right, great. Let's take a quick breather. We'll be right back. This is ABN Radio. We're taking your calls. We have we will have a couple of minutes for you. If you want to call, is 0208 670 7300 or 0788 7475 We're also streaming live on YouTube. That's UBN Radio UK YouTube page. So if you go there, you can see us. You can send us a message if you want to do that from there as well, or you can actually you can send us a message if you would wish to do that, and you can actually go back and listen to the program. And if you missed anything, you can actually send us an email or send us a message, and we'll pass that on to Anna and Victoria from Onpoint Property Limited. So we'll be right back just after this.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife. Save your life.
Mixpiration with Bright every Sunday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. is just fun. It's exciting. It's a mix of contemporary R&B and pop gospel music right here on ABN Radio. Enjoy great themes every Sunday evening with Bright on Mixpiration, a blend of great inspiring songs just for your Sunday evening relaxation. Tune in from 6 to 8 p.m. this and every Sunday. They're on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
The University Gospel Choir Competition of the Year is back.
Saturday, 24th of March, 9 choirs compete for the UGCY title. Judges include Ace Oyerinde, Stephanie Sounds, Les Moore and Voni Morgan. Hosted by Rachel Kerr with a special performance from the Uplifted Voices. Join us for a spectacular evening at the Dominion Centre in London's Wood Green, N22 6DG. It's a night guaranteed to leave you uplifted and inspired. Tickets are available at ugcy.co.uk.
Hi, this is Rodney Hines.
And I'm Michael.
Join us on the Voice of Sports show each and every Saturday on ABN Radio.
We'll keep you bang up to date with all the latest football scores and we'll discuss all the big talking points in the world of sport. So don't forget, join us this Saturday, 4 till 6 on ABN Radio UK.
Tune in to the new ABN Breakfast Show on Monday from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. The London City Show has evolved into an all-new breakfast show with sizzling slices of juicy news and current affairs served with junior jumbo-sized convos on issues you should be aware of. What did I just say? The ABN Breakfast Show, the Afropolitan breakfast you can't afford to miss.
This is your girl Diana Hamilton and you're listening to ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan station. I love this station.
It's showtime, folks.
Next word, music.
I don't know, Tete, I can never be perfect. Why I did do my things with my conscience? So, when Mr. X told me won't be at my front fed, I know, say, he know me, say, he know like my star. He know like my star. So don't take no offense when you see me grinding, bowling, all the same. Shout out to again niggas who be sleeping on me. Now I don't come to take my crown on me. I'm all about my hustle, I understand nobody. Go on to bed, sound with me for me. Every day I pray, oh, I pay me so. Top a dollar, go marry me, no. Cause they know they can touch me, I'm a hustle. I'm on another level.
Back in the day, they know they feel me. And they sing many songs, they know they hear me. Even others okay, know they post me. All these pretty ladies, know they post me. 25 sitting on 25 mil. Tell me whoever done this real quick. I just came from a world tour, sold out concert, 100k pounds for one song. I just got a house, I just got a car. Shout out to my mama, she they pray for me. Shout out to my people with the hill and follow me, with the hill and follow me. Look, marry me. Now they say me, that's what I be me. I'm on another level, you can find me.
I'm on another level. 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 Look it, let my marry me. Dust it down. Look it, let my marry me. Dust it down. Look it, let my marry me. Dust it down. Look it, let my marry me. Dust it down. Got nothing to tell me. Got money, EFCC no define me. See your girlfriend define me. Oh my Yoruba, alone you learn. Why you go to the King Kong? Every record that he drums, them I sing along. I'm the best indigenous who ever do this. West Africa to Yankee and the feel this. Oh, I'm getting real love from my people. Oh, hold my city down, I know the shame. Orange, and Malawa. I'm on another level. 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 Look it, let my marry me. Dust it down.
Welcome back to ABN Radio on the Property and Lifestyle Show with Onpoint Property Limited. For everything properties, they are the people you should be going to, especially if you would want to look into the Ghana market, and they have been sharing some good information with me tonight. Anna and Victoria still with me in the studio, and still reminding you that we are taking your calls. So 020-670-7300. We have a couple of minutes to go on today's show. If you still come through, or if you have a message, you can text or send us a WhatsApp message, or send us a voice note. If maybe you are not in a position to do a text, send us a voice note, and then we're going to play it out on the show. The number is 0788-7475-940. That is 0788-7475-940. Now, Victoria, let me come back to you. The bottom line for all these that we're talking about is money.
Yeah.
Right. So are there any fees apart from the money that you actually pay with regard to maybe the mortgage deposit and all those things? What are the fees that people need to be aware of that they would pay? Yeah. Because in UK you have stamp duty and all that kind of thing. I don't know if I got it right. What is it that happens in Ghana? Okay.
So the mortgage lender will charge an arrangement fee for the facility. Maybe 0.5%. It varies from lender to lender, but no one should be alarmed. This is standard practice. It's not because you're buying in Ghana they're charging you. Even the UK, if you're buying a property here, there will always be an arrangement fee for the finance, for the mortgage that you're going to obtain from them.
Okay.
Also, before you own the property, there'll be like a title and land fee.
Okay.
Again, it's nominal fees.
If you say nominal fee, is there a range? Because people will be really interested to know.
Yeah, there's a percentage of the property price that you pay to.
So it's all like a percentage of the.
It's always percentage
of the property price.
So typically, in total, it could be a couple of £1,000. I shouldn't say or dollars, with the bank fee, the arrangement fee, and. Bank fee from the mortgage provider, obviously the land title documents. Again, this is general practice globally. Wherever you're buying, they're going to charge you for these documents. And then with regards to tax,
tax. So if you're purchasing, it's usually a 5%. Say like
a stamp duty tax.
Okay,
and that goes
so
to the
there
government.
is some sort of equivalent that goes to the government.
Yes, so it's a land purchase tax. Property purchase tax. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
And then I guess the key thing also with getting mortgages from Ghana would be the interest rates.
Okay.
At the moment, for those who are listening and who are based in the UK, we're currently having historically the lowest interest rates for borrowing in general, and mortgages is probably one of the cheapest forms of borrowing money is through a mortgage. Typical residential mortgage in the UK, you can get one for just 2% interest, 2.99% interest, which is amazing. If anyone's got a deposit, please go and get a mortgage now and fix the period. In Ghana, the mortgages for us will seem very, very high, the interest rate, typically about 12%.
Right.
And we're here used to about 2 or 3, or prior to recession, probably 5. So 12 may seem quite high, but in the UK, we did have in the late 70s, 80s, 17%. So at the moment, yes, that's another thing to take into consideration. But the bank will take this into consideration when they're assessing your affordability. So that's a general fixed rate. I do know the government is trying to get that rate down to make borrowing more affordable to everybody.
One of the things that we've mentioned a couple of times on the show is that if you want to buy from here as a diasporan, your credit history will be checked. Now, let's talk about people who may not be formally recognized by the system here in the UK, but they've lived, they've done their work and everything, but maybe they've not had their immigration status regularized. Is there any way that such people can take advantage of buying properties in Ghana through the developers' routes?
Unfortunately, I will start with the sentence, unfortunately, that if their earnings and whether it's through national insurance or employment, if it hasn't been formally documented, there's no proof to say that they've actually worked, or it's them that's had the good credit, been paying their bills, etc. Because I know some people who they're renting a room in their friend's maybe rental apartment or their home, but there's no proof that it's actually them contributing to these bills. So this is where the grey area comes, and it can be a bit unfortunate for those who are in this situation. My only advice would be is that if your savings are well and you've got the cash to purchase.
Right, but if you're buying cash, then?
If you're buying in cash, then there's not a problem.
Yeah.
And anyone who's listening, obviously the government brought in that new law in January that, if you are earning money in the UK and your immigration status is illegal, the government can actually confiscate your money. So this is something also to bear in mind.
That is if you have your money in the bank.
That's if you have your money in the bank. Yeah. The banks now are sharing information with immigration if they are looking for somebody or you are under the radar for being in the country illegally.
Right.
They can seize your assets.
Great. It's exciting times, really. I think that you've mentioned it a couple of times that it's a great time to look into the Ghana market, and we've also said that you should not just be living in Ghana for you to buy in Ghana. Can you just share in about a minute or two how that works? Because someone will say that, oh, you know what, I really like the idea of this, but I don't live in Ghana and I don't think I'm going to be living in Ghana now, but I'm still, this sounds like something I want to do. What should a person do?
Again, the property is out there. You can purchase for an investment, so you can actually rent it out and get a rental income. There's very high yields in Ghana. It's typically between 8 to 12%.
Are there estate agencies that manage this for you?
Well,
because once you are not there and you are here, you are also concerned.
A lot of the developers have their own in-house management teams. So a lot of the times, a lot of the developers we work with, you purchase, do the exchange, and hand the key back to them because they'll have their team ready to relet your property and manage it for you. So they do have in-house management teams.
And there are also estate agents who specialise in lettings as well in Ghana.
Right, so if you want to do anything at all, Kofi Kinata sums it up very well.
No so far, so time to do shade. Even the time to do so crowd. Get up and do something good for yourselves. Then bring you up, mother. Say ye and you be a brother, get up and do something good for yourselves. The time and time wait for no man, and you be a brother, share everything to know ourselves. Papa Yanson, I say, oh, CK, I say, oh, Shadu Kaji, I say, oh, I'm the fire, so I say, oh, no, we do the king, not another, I do the time, no, do. Ah, many of you are in the Tampa, oh, the bring you on my dad, say, you be a brother, you go. and Tampa. I will be and Tampa. Even the mission no so far. Even the time we do circle. The rest of the party. The time me a precious, you don't waste it. Man longer of our go places. You get cases, you go face it. My mind talkative, share a pebble track of fuck with heaven, quarrel call. Now my ball for 47, one support. Now coupon on your mixing the Jesus, uncannibal no master, no still on your bid now. Live your life at it, chase your dreams. Leave a mark, make you no just exist. Action, wake up, now or never. Don't die as a waste man, no die yawa. Auntie Rabbi, voice what so man, yes I check. Trust no doors, a man reply this. This be the time go free do more things in the cemetery of full of fun for free dreams. Time ready. I will be and Tampa. Even the mission no so far. So time ready, shady. Even the time we do circle. Me manka wo, mamu ni bi.
So if you will do anything, make sure you do it now, and especially if you want to look into the property market in Ghana, make sure you're doing it now. The news is coming up, and after that we will be back to just firm and round things up. This is ABN Radio London's Afropolitan radio station, and we are available online on DAB on and on your mobile devices. That's ABN Radio UK.com is where you find us.
ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
More news, more information. This is ABN News on the Hour.
From the Sky News Centre at 8, French police investigating a terror attack which has left 3 people dead in the south of the country have arrested a woman the gunman lived with. The attacker was shot dead by an officer who offered himself up as a hostage swap during a siege in a supermarket in the town of Trèbes. The attacker was shot dead. France's Interior Minister Gérard Collomb says they know who he was.
The terrorist was called Redouane Lacdim. He was 26 years old and was a known petty criminal, but he was under surveillance and it wasn't thought he'd been radicalised.
Jeremy Corbyn has sacked Owen Smith from the Shadow Cabinet after he repeatedly called for a second EU referendum. He's been replaced as Shadow Northern Ireland Secretary by Tony Lloyd. The teenager convicted of the Parsons Green tube bombing in West London in September has been sentenced to at least 34 years in prison. The court heard the Iraqi asylum seeker had a deep-seated hatred of Britain. The parents of a detective constable killed by her police inspector husband say justice has been served after his murder conviction. Darren and Leanne Mackay had huge debts, so the 43-year-old had applied for loans in his and his wife's names. Detective Superintendent Aaron Duggan says Mackay tried to outwit fellow officers.
His first interview, he gave an account, so he answered questions, and then from there on in, he made some prepared statements and remained silent. And when he has spoken with us, we do know he's lied, and he's lied repeatedly. You know, undoubtedly his lies have led to his guilty conviction.
A judge has given the information watchdog permission to search the London offices of the firm at the centre of the Facebook privacy row. It's investigating claims that Cambridge Analytica may have illegally got hold of people's data for political campaigns. And in sport, England are underway in Amsterdam in their friendly with the Netherlands. It's goalless early on. Alex McLeish's first game back in charge of Scotland has kicked off in Glasgow. They're 0-0 with Costa Rica. Earlier, the Republic of Ireland lost 1-0 to Turkey. That's the latest. I'm Simon English.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realised. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife. Save your life.
It's time for the conference we've all been waiting for, the Diamonds Conference 2018, themed Unbreakable, on the 24th of March 2018 at 12 noon at the Plush Auditorium, TBC Oasis House, 5 to 9 Peel Road, Croydon, CR03EX. A powerful time of 360 degrees of motivation and change from your crown to your heart. It will be a time of motivation, word, healing and worship with your host Ruth Appiah-J Matthew and special guest Reverend Kingsley Appiah-J. Plus exclusive exclusive workshops from industry experts from fashion, beauty, love and relationships. Guest artists Shekinah and much more. Early bird tickets are only £15. Standard tickets £21. Get your tickets now at www.thediamondsconference.com. Funds go to Hope Centre Orphanage. The Diamonds Conference, the exclusive ladies event of the year. See you there.
Making diamonds out of us.
Tune in to the new ABN Breakfast Show on Monday from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. The London City Show has evolved into an all-new breakfast show with sizzling slices of juicy news current affairs served with junior jumbo-sized convos on issues you should be aware of. What did I just say? The ABN Breakfast Show, the Afropolitan breakfast you can't afford to miss.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy UG Official. And right now, you're tuned into ABN Radio. Make sure you don't touch that dial. Stay tuned.
Thank you, UG. Stay tuned. Make sure you don't touch that dial. ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station. Let me say good evening to Seth Kwame Boateng of Joy FM, who is right about now in London, just trying to enjoy our cold, breezy weather. I don't know why he will fly from Ghana in this time of the sun and join us in this cold. But hey, Seth Kwame Boateng, award-winning journalist and documentary producer, welcome to London. You came at a good time because you came after the last snow. Hopefully, it was the last one. You're so tuned into ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station, and if you can come through, we'll be glad. Just before we round up, 0208 670 7300 is the number to call. And my guest in the studio, Anna and Victoria of Onpoint Property Limited. So, let me come to you, Anna and Victoria. So now, the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Show is up live on YouTube. So what is up next by way of that direction?
Okay, so the first episode has been uploaded today, and as I said, the first series is really about us going round to visit different developers in different apartments and townhouses, and really to give the viewers and those interested in investing or buying a property back in Ghana a taste of what's available. Not only do we talk about the properties, we talk about the area, what's around, whether shops and facilities, good schools and distance. Anyone who's familiar with Accra, especially just like London, traffic can be an issue. So having that great location for your lifestyle, whether you're single or whether you're with a family, you want to have children going to school, location will be key to where you'll be wanting to live. So it really be a great insight. So anyone who's listening, we'll definitely encourage you to visit our YouTube channels, either Onpoint Property TV or Ghana Property and Lifestyle TV, and enjoy the next couple of weeks, because every Friday we'll be uploading a new episode, and hopefully we get to catch that on ABN television. Absolutely.
As well. Hopefully, right. That would be great. So what next? Will we be seeing more production after this series ends? Like maybe episode 1 to 5, 1 to 10. When it ends, what is the next step? Are we going to be seeing more production from you in that direction?
Yeah, it's imperative that people see the products as well. It complements the expos which we organise as well. So people are getting to build some sort of relationship with the developers from watching it via our YouTube TV, and then meeting them at the expos. Just really works hand in hand together.
Right.
Yeah. So series 2 definitely we'll be doing a series 2.
Okay.
Obviously we've got 5 episodes to show. There's a lot more to see, so we'll be breaking it down through each of the different series.
Oh, great. So finally, if we have to run up on today's show, and what we want to do, the reason why we are rounding up today's show, we want to try and bring you some of the interesting discussions we had I think in week 2, and some of the things we covered, we've received some requests that people would love to go recap that via our catch-up service. Some of you have gone there to listen to it, but then we want to bring it back on today's show and get you to engage a little bit more with it before bed talk at 9 o'clock with Adjoa Ama Apia. So what would you say finally about acquiring a mortgage or buying outright in Ghana at this time?
I would say seek advice. I think a lot of people start their journey not knowing who to talk to, exactly what they want, and then they get misinformation, and the whole process comes unnecessarily
difficult. And,
difficult.
It's just it frightens those.
So whether you choose to come to Onpoint or whether you're doing your own independent research, do look into the avenues, because there are more options than you think that is available. It's a very good time now because we have reputable developers, we have banks and mortgage services tailor-made for the diaspora. And even those based in Ghana, if you have any listeners in Ghana. So the structure is there, and the support is there, providing that you go to the right people. So I think for me, my key word would be make sure you seek the correct counsel. If someone has bought a property and had a positive experience, ask them what did they go through. But we're quite happy to give guidance and help any of the listeners who may be too shy to call in. They can also contact us direct, whether via our website.
Is there a contact number or just your website?
Oh, yes. They can come through our website, www.onpointproperty.co.uk. We do have our telephone number, and I should know this off by heart.
Don't worry. So I'm guessing the telephone number is definitely available online. So please make sure that you go on there and check that out. Victoria, what would you say on the lifestyle side of things? How would you round this up for if somebody is looking to buy in Ghana?
Well, again, if you have a particular lifestyle that you're used to in the UK, you can go to Ghana. You can look at areas which, again, if you've got a family, look for good schools, good health facilities. All these factor in for your comfortability in living in Ghana. So look for the areas which all of these amenities are, and then look into purchasing where suited for you in that area.
If you like donut chicken, I'm sure you'll find something.
That's it.
Oh, there's plenty food. I mean, the eateries, we were in Ghana.
Some amazing spots in Ghana right now. They really are opening up.
Yeah, I guess you're making people hungry now.
I know, I feel hungry now. Fry yam with some,
right.
I'm just really hungry now.
Great. But by the way, in sometime next week, I'll try and go and feel the sun a little bit before I come back.
I'm sorry, I was a bit unprepared there, but to contact us direct, it's 0203 735 8977, and we're our Onpoint team are here to answer and just give you guidance. We don't charge for consultation, so do give us a call.
Feel free. So you heard it there, and I'm Victoria. No charge for consultation, but make sure you come to ask all the questions you want, and who knows, that may be the step to your journey of owning your own property, which is very, very important. Ladies, thanks for coming. But I know that you're hanging out with me still in the studio whilst we try and bring back a recap of some of the series that our listeners have requested for. But then let me say again that from this month, we've had this month as a special month concentrating on properties here in Ghana. Why do I keep saying that?
I know you want to be your mind's in Ghana.
Properties here in London and then in Ghana. But from this month, we would be doing once a month session, and we would be bringing you that information right here on your radio, ABN Radio. So keep on listening and watch out for the details as well on our social media platforms, as well as Onpoint Property Limited social media. platforms. So thanks very much. Don't go away. So we're bringing back one of the series that we did, and then at 9 o'clock Ajuama Pia is here with Bed Talk, and today she is asking the question if more sex means more happiness, or more sex means a happy marriage. I'm tempted to ask my guest here in the studio if that's the case.
We'll be listening. We'll be tuning in.
We'll be tuning. Yeah, they are very shy. They don't want to talk about it. So yeah, so just tune in to Ajuama Pia and get that. So just before we go on to the recap, here is something from Miss V and Yemi Alade.
Swag.